Season 3, Episode 12. So this episode is basically the, as Gandalf would say, the calm before the storm. Basically, it's the episode they're getting ready to go off to Wall Maria and replug the wall to save humanity, find out what's in the cellar, what the hell is up with the Titans. And we're getting ready to do that, but this is the night before, so this is just a big party. They're eating ham, they're having a good time. And that's basically your episode. It's a very interesting episode because, you know, a lot of these people aren't going to come back because this is basically a suicide mission. They have a good plan in place, but will most of our characters come back? Will some of them die? One day, the Captain Ervin, he is such a cool guy. I mean, I remember last season, whenever he's like, charge! And then a Titan comes off and eats his arm, and he's like, what are you doing? I said charge! And he's just a cool character. I really liked him. I like how he's saying, like, he's like, I know I'm a burden. I know it's not smart for me to go, but I need to know what this is all about. So this is a very interesting episode of Attack on Titan. Doctor Who, Series 11, Episode 6. So this episode of Doctor Who, the basic premise of this episode is basically the one character gets a watch from her grandmother, and her grandmother won't tell her the story, so she asks the doctor to take her back in time. They go back in time when the borderline of India and Pakistan were created, and basically the story is the one character's grandmother was married to a Muslim, to a Indian Hindu person. She's a Muslim. Those don't go really well together. Her brother gets all mad, and there's this like predator element to this episode. So what I really like about this episode was I really enjoyed the music of the episode. I really like the quick wit. I like how, because this is what I like. One of the things I like about Doctor Who is that it is a time travel show. So anything this one character says, she says something wrong, or any of them say anything wrong, she can just get blinked out of existence just like that. So it's a very interesting episode in that sense, but it's also a sense that you can't always save everyone. Sometimes you just gotta let history happen. And that's what I really enjoyed about this episode. This is a great episode of Doctor Who, and yeah. Arrow, Season 7, Episode 5. So this episode of Arrow, basic premise is Oliver is still in level 2. He's basically put into general population of level 2. And basically he meets up with Talia al Ghul, or what's known as the demon, the one he's been looking for. So this was a very interesting episode, because basically what we're seeing is Oliver is still struggling. He wants to be the hero of the story, and he's trying to release all this public information of what this doctor is doing. And you also see Felicity. She's worried about her husband, and we're also seeing what the hell is Diaz been doing. At the end of the episode, Diaz is in Moscow. One thing was the cool fight scene was Oliver and Talia are fighting basically a move team, and they were just kicking ass. It was a very fun episode. So yeah, that was Arrow this week. Legends of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 4. So this episode, Legend of Tomorrow, this was a funny, because it's the title was a play on Wet Hot American Summer, and basically they all go back in time to this summer camp, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with the summer camp. Is there's some kind of demon that's taking monsters and little kids, and it's kind of funny because it was just all the characters get together. Sarah and her girl turns into little kids, and it was a very little fun episode of Legends of Tomorrow, and it was a little fun, cool time travel and stuff, and also Mick drinking a hooch and drinking, and yeah, fun episode of Legends of Tomorrow. The Flash, Season 5, Episode 5. So this episode of The Flash, basically what's happened is Iris and her daughter aren't getting along. Iris is worried about what she'll become, and basically Iris like, you can't just keep running, and get over all that. And basically Nora is starting to learn more about her mom, as the one character is telling her all about stories about her dad, but really it was stories about her mom. And it was a very interesting episode. The villain this week was it was a really creepy ass villain who could stretch his hands. He was wearing a creepy ass clown mask. Very enjoyable episode. Also, Cisco is learning if he can't really he's been relying on being the vibe all this time. Instead, he forgets that he's a electrical engineer guy who can build all kinds of stuff. So he doesn't really need vibe, but we'll see how his powers continue because every time he's been using his powers, he's been having seizures. So we'll see what happens. Black Lightning Season 2, Episode 5. So this episode of Black Lightning, basically what's happened this episode is Gamby is dead. Maybe. Basically, it begins with Gamby getting shot up and its band blows up. They can't find a body, so odds are he's still alive. But Jefferson is really dealing with this because he's the second father to him. So he's really struggling, and he's trying to figure out who killed him. The one daughter is basically she's connected with the Khalil, the guy who is working with Tobias. And also this episode we see Lighten, the other girl. She is also dealing with some kind of new mystery going on. So I guess we'll see what goes on from there. So yeah, interesting episode, Black Lightning, baby. Riverdale Season 3, Episode 5. So this episode of Riverdale, basically what's happened is they're planning on getting Archie out of prison, and basically they're just forming a little heist team, and Jughead's getting more and more obsessed with the game. So it was getting some really interesting stuff this episode. Just them trying to break out Archie fighting was trying to escape, and also it had a very gladiator feel because one guy scabs Archie and no one can really notice, and it felt very gladiator to me. And at the end you see Jughead, he's bowing towards the Gargoyle King, so I'm curious who that's going to be. The thing about this is it could be somebody, or maybe this is some kind of connection to Sabrina, because those horror shows are kind of connected. The supernatural worlds are, because Riverdale was mentioned in Sabrina. So maybe some kind of supernatural thing is causing this game to happen. So I guess we'll find out. I mean, that could be just wrong. It could just be some guy dressed up as Gargoyle, or that little crazy costume. But who knows? Survivor, David vs. Goliath, Episode 8. What a blindside that was. Very interesting episode. Basically, the whole episode is setting up this blindside, and we're going to blindside, this episode we're going to blindside Christian. I was like, well, we know Christian's not going home, maybe. I mean, he's had such a great edit, we know he's not going home. So who's going to go home? It's kind of interesting. And basically, Davey plays his idol for Christian. That idol he found in Episode 2. I'm like, okay, so that means Angelina's gonna go home. But no, wait, that one guy plays an idol, and guess what? Brochacho goes home, and I did not see that coming. When John goes home, when I see that one vote for John, I was just like this. I was like, holy crap! Because that just came out of left field, came out of nowhere. So Davey and Christian is like, hey, I got an idol. Me and you, we're gonna throw votes on. John. We'll throw some other votes on them. And I hate to see John go home because I was really enjoying his game. I thought he was playing a really interesting game. I hope we get to see him play again because I really, really enjoyed him this season. And it looks like he had no hard feelings about it. It was just a good blindside, a good old slingshot, baby. The Big Bang Theory, Season 12, Episode 9. So this episode of The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon and Amy, they pawn getting citations of their huge paper for Leonard to check out, make sure everything's alright. But him and Raj, find a Russian paper that was written in the 70s. Basically, it was already written and everything, but it was all disproven, and there's no point keep researching that. And Sheldon realizes that and completely gets depressed. Amy gets depressed, and also Bernadette gets obsessed with Fortnite. Okay, I mean the Fortnite stuff. If I like Fortnite or even knew what Fortnite really was, I might like it, but I didn't really care for that part. I like the stuff with Sheldon because I was actually dealing with stuff with a relationship. So I care more about that because it's actually going somewhere, where the stuff with Bernadette, just get Bernadette out of the show. In the show. Come on! Young Sheldon, Season 2, Episode 9. So this episode of Young Sheldon, basically what's happening is Thanksgiving dinner. Sheldon has to write a psychology paper, and he's analyzing the things going on in his family. Basically, George gets a job offer from Tulsa, and basically he has to face I can make more money, give our family more security, or we can all stay in Texas and keep everyone happy. So it was a very interesting episode of that. And also Sheldon dealing with change, as he doesn't like change if we've seen The Big Bang Theory. So guys, that ends another episode of the TV Recap. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Guys, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button, subscribe, see more, tell your friends about Easy Nation. All